So I thought I'd just film a quick little video here. As you can see, my truck is very dirty. That's because I went kind of off-roading in it at a junkyard that I've been to before. I've done a video here. It's called Thunder Mountains in Olive Hill, Kentucky. If I remember, I will try and link the video down below. It's a huge place with a lot of parts, great prices too. But I had to get a new speedometer for my bus, and I found one in an old Kentucky Thomas FS65 that had been recently replaced. This thing looks very great, and you can see this speedometer only has 5,200 miles on it. It was a 2001 FS65 Thomas. I think it's from Carter County originally, and then it was for the Catlettsburg refinery, petroleum refinery. You can see my bus was built in '01. That bus was built in March of 2000, so they're only about a year apart. But this speedometer right here gave up on me on the way home. The speedometer and the odometer both. So this mileage isn't even correct, so I'm just going to have to kind of guess. I'm guessing it's about... this says 193,969. I'm going to guess it's at about 194... I'll say 194,069. It was probably about 100 miles before I got home. Maybe not that much, but it was thereabouts. So what I'll do is I'll put a tag right here whenever I get this new one installed, if it works. I'm going to test it out and make sure it works, but whenever I get the new one installed, I'll put like a tag right here saying like odometer replaced at 188,000 whatever miles, even though it's 193, and this odometer still has some mileage on it, which is why I'm going to do that. But yeah, so I will kind of show you how to do this. This whole gauge cluster is already kind of out, so I'll go ahead and shut this bus off. I don't want to shock myself or anything, but I have already had this out, so that way I can kind of see what I was getting myself into. So basically, you see these star piece head screws. I got these out with a normal Phillips head because I didn't have any star piece. There's one, see if it wants to focus. There's one right here, one right here, one right here, and then there's supposed to be one right here, but mine is missing, so it just made things easier for me. But yeah, so after you do that, you can get pretty much this entire gauge cluster out. Try and do this one-handed. Well, you can see it's already coming out. So yeah, I'll pause this and I will get everything kind of apart, and then I'll show you where I'm at from there. Okay, so I should mention before I get any farther, oh, I just dropped the screw, but I'll get it. There are these two clips right here that go into the top of the gauge cluster. Right here above the oil temp gauge on my cluster. I'm not sure if that'd be that way on everybody's cluster, but my cluster has the oil temp gauge here and above the fuel gauge here. So up in the top corners by where those screws are at. Also, whenever I got this one out of the junk bus, I noticed that these facings here, this is glass, this isn't plastic. So I had to break the other one because those screws wouldn't come loose. Oh, this is the one that's got the screw, not this one. But anyways, I had to break all that loose, and I actually ended up breaking the facing to the speedometer, and it was glass whenever I thought it was plastic. So yeah, keep that in mind whenever you're trying to get a new speedometer or any of these gauges. And also make sure you get these screws out before you try yanking this out, because then you'll just break all this down here. So it's these two screws, then this comes off, and then these two screws, and then this whole white piece comes out with all the gauges inside of it, the whole cluster. Also, you have this gasket here. Mine is broken, but you know, it just kind of hooks onto the edge of the cluster here itself. Make sure you put that back on before you put everything back together. Just kind of helps seal everything a little better. But anyways, with the speedometer itself, all these gauges, they look pretty similar as far as this goes. You have a clip right here and a clip right here, and then you have a piece that plugs into the back. So I'll go ahead and pull this speedometer out, and then we'll get to that piece in the back. Alright, so I've undid the clips here, and I just pulled it out. I don't know if you can see back here. We'll do this one. There's a clip just like this one right here that goes on the back of the speedometer. And you just want to press the tabs on the top and the bottom and pull it off. I should also mention that it would probably be easier if you pulled the wiring harness there off of the back of the gauge before you actually pull the gauge out. But here's what the back of the gauge looks like. Here's the front. So we're going to put the new gauge in, and we'll go ahead and compare the two gauges here. I'll just put them on my leg, I guess, or I'll put the old one on my leg because I'm not afraid to break it. But you can see exact same gauge, just, you know, one's a lot newer than the other. On the back, they look exactly the same. So yeah, we'll try putting this one in and then taking this thing for a short test drive and seeing if this works. Just, you know, around the storage lot here. But yeah, pretty much that's most of the process there, but I'll let you know how it goes. Well, after a short test drive, I know that my speedometer was not the issue. It's probably a sensor somewhere, because this new speedometer does not work. So I'll probably put the old one back in just because the mileage will be more accurate. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for this video. I haven't actually had to change any of these other gauges out, but I'm guessing that it would be the same process for the rest of them. So if not, and you go to change one of these other gauges, I apologize for that. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. So thanks for watching.